step away, I'm just a breath away, losing my faith today.
I'm falling off the edge today.
I am just a man, not superhuman.
I'm not superhuman.
Someone save me from the hate. It's just another war.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Suzuka Raceway here in the Suzuka, Japan, as we are set for the running of the Suzuka Thunder 100. This is a 3-heat race we're having here today. And now, the lineup that we had here today is determined by point standings coming out of the at the end of the season 15 of this Castrol GTX Cup Series. So the first heat are for those who are 1st through 21st in the points chase at the end of the season, and the second heat is for those who are 22nd on down to last in the standings. So, and we run 2 10-lap heat races, and the top 10 finishers from each heat gets to transfer into the All-Star. The All-Star race. Listen to me, this is not Charlotte. Gets to transfer into the main event of the Suzuka Thunder 100 for a 20-lap feature for a 20-lap race to determine the overall winner. I would do this whole thing. I would do the Suzuka Thunder 100 with all 41 cars, except this track only holds 26. This is the reason why I'm doing it in heat races as opposed to the entire event. And this does not count for points. This is only an exhibition race. And so we did this in season 14. It was a great race. So we returned this for season 15 and beyond. So with that all said, let's get to the starting line for today's running of this event of the Suzuka Thunder 100. On the pole for today's event, it's Levi McIntyre, the number 99 XI Bears SKF Ford. He's on the pole for today's event. He'll be flanked by the number 10 Tide Ford of Joshua Osborne is alongside. Row 2 is Dylan Poteet, the number 22 Caterpillar Dodge. He finished the season 10th in the points chase. And beside him, the season 15 champion of the Castrol GTX Cup Series, it's Charles Sanford, the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet. Row 3 is Jessica Shelton, the number 9 Dodge Dealers Dodge. She was 5th place in the points chase at the end of the season. And she'll be alongside Johnny Gardner, the Texaco Haviland Ford, car number 28. Then it's Matt Dalio driving a special paint scheme for this weekend, for this race, the Folgers Ford, car number 6 that we all one of the schemes he'll be running next season with the Cup 90 mods. He's driving the Folgers Ford Fusion, kind of a retro 1990 to 91 scheme. And another one for that era of racing here, Kyle Matthews, number 42 Meliella Pontiac. He was 2nd place in the points this season. Then Seth Cole, who won the Charlotte 500 this season in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, the Geico Chevrolet, car number 13 for NNSCRA Motorsports. Beside him, Joshua Cole, who finished 3rd in the point chase in the STP Pontiac, car number 43, STP Dodge, car number 43. Then it's Kev Shearer, the number 32 Tide Pontiac, who won the North Wilkesboro event this season. He'll be alongside Zach Austin, number 23 Smokin' Joe's Ford. Then it's Levi Jones, the number 01 U.S. Army Pontiac, who finished the season 15th in the standings, and William Bedford, who came home 18th in the points of the Aquafresh Pontiac, car 00. JT Bryant, who finished the season 13th in the standings in the All-Till Dodge, car number 12, and Jeremy Jones, who finished the season 17th in the standings, the other various Chevrolet, car 18. Then it's James Richardson, the Tabasco Hot Sauce Pontiac, car number 35. He finished the season 11th in the points. And Trent Dunham, who finished 9th in the points in the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet, car number 1. Then it's William Brock, the number 7 XI Bears Ford. He finished 20th in the points chase. And season 15 Rookie of the Year, Zach Rogers, in the GM Goodrich Service Chevrolet, car number 3. He finished the season 8th in the standings. And riding the shotgun in the field is Zach Flickinger, the number 33 Skull Bandit Chevrolet, the Harry Gant colors. He finished a career's best 4th place in the points chase. This season, he starts shotgun in the field. So the field getting all set here, Suzuka, as they're about to get the command to fire the engines here for the first heat of this race.
Gentlemen, start your
front row here for today's running in this event at the Suzuka Thunder 100. This is the all four front row for heat number 1. Just in the top 10 for the finishers in this heat will be the first 10 to make it into the main event. And this is not quite like the All-Star race at Charlotte, where we have Winston Open to get into the field and have to try to make its way into to try to be the top 5 to make its way in, but rather it's a 3-race heat. So here comes the field, the green flag race. We are underway. Heat number 1 is on. Fanning out 3 wide is Johnny Gardner, car number 28, and Levi McIntyre drops off in the dirt just a little bit. And Joshua Osborne, I think, is going to take the lead, the early lead, I think. He does, but barely at the moment. But here comes McIntyre back to the inside of the racetrack. And whoa, Charles Ever Dylan Poteet gets a little cozy there coming out of the turn. And Owen Poteet and Gardner has slammed the wall hard in the turn. And Charles Sanford is spun. And then he gets hit by the number 1 of Trent Dunham. And so the season 15 champion has spun out in heat number 1, and so has Matt Dallio into the number 6 Folgers Ford. He has spun into the kitty litter. So caution number 1 happening here on lap number 1 of heat number 1. Trent's able to keep on going. Poteet and Dallio will not be able to make its way into the Suzuka Thunder 100. Neither will Charles Sanford, the number 24 car, that won the season championship by the skin of its teeth at Atlanta. An unfortunate situation for those 3 drivers, and especially also for Johnny Gardner. Let's look at as to what happened again. Sanford's just a victim of circumstance in the whole deal. And the far chase view has never failed us, so let's see what happens here. Sanford was battling with Poteet for 3rd behind Lee McIntyre and Osborne. And Sanford apparently allowed he was clear of Poteet, and he goes right down the inside of the track. And then Poteet gets hooked by Johnny Gardner, and then hooks Charles Sanford. There's where Gardner almost turned over upside down. And then yeah, there's Seth Cole. He gets into Sanford as well, and Seth almost gets rear-ended by Kev Shearer in the 32. So a wild first lap here at Suzuka, no question about it. On board with Johnny Gardner, car 28. Let's ride and see what happened from his view. Just you were joining us, just in time we joined back for green flag racing here on lap number 4, so that was perfect timing, really. Osborne still with the lead. He gets off in the dirt just a little bit. Now Levi McIntyre tries to go back to what he did before the yellow flag came out. That was he and Osborne battling for position. Well, and McIntyre almost shoving Osborne off in the dirt. And here comes Joshua Collard, car 43, to the inside of Osborne for position. McIntyre goes to the number 1 spot. Collard to the inside. Collard, you remember, won this race last season. And boy, does he like this track, Suzuka. I would hope so, because he is battling for the lead on McIntyre. And the yellow flag is flown once again here. I swear last season we did not have this many caution flags. And this time it was JT Bryant, card number 12, that spun. Let's take a look as to what happened again. It's happening on lap number 4, so we have not been able to get a full green flag lap in. And JT was running in 13th position. He gets off in the dirt just a little bit, in, just touches the kitty litter. Slides in front of the one of Trent Dunham. And JT slides right across the kitty litter into the wall he goes, and bad break for the man who won this season at Talladega and the Pepsi 400 at Daytona, on board with JT. Bad part about going through the kitty litter, you pretty much have to spin your way through it. But JT is back at it again here, and the number 12 car, the pace car's lights are off. So we're going to get a green flag this time by Levi McIntyre, still out in front. So hopefully we get a green flag lap in finally, hopefully. As this time by we'll have 4 laps to go in heat number 1. Second place is Joshua Collard. Third is Joshua Osborne. Fourth position is Jessica Shelton. Fifth is Kyle Matthews. Sixth is Kev Shearer. Seventh is Seth Cole. Eighth, William Bedford. Ninth position is Zach Austin. And 10th is Jeremy Jones. That's your top 10 as of now. They would be the 10. They would be the 10 that would transfer if this race were to end now. But we still have 4 laps remaining in this heat, so we'll see what happens here. Green flag race, we're back underway. Collard to the inside. He's wasting no time. And Collard getting shoved by another Joshua Osborne in the 10 car. But McIntyre ain't giving up in that Ford, though, as he is trying. And whoa! Collard and McIntyre kind of rubbing doors just a little bit. Or rubbing fenders or whatever it is. Collard to the lead. Here comes Osborne to the inside of the racetrack. Osborne had the lead in the first part of the race here. Here it comes to the inside of Collard for the lead. He's got it. Joshua Osborne, car number 10, takes the lead here at the Suzuka Thunder 100, heat number 1. But here comes McIntyre. He's trying to battle his way past Collard again. Him and Collard have gone at it all race long so far. And Jessica Shelton does not know who to go with. On board Jessica Shelton's car, and boy, she's getting a bird's eye view of what Collard and McIntyre are doing right now. Shelton runs fourth. Here she comes to the inside of Collard. You're with her as she tries to make the pass on the 43 car. 2 Dodges side by side. 2 laps to go in heat number 1. The last transfer spot right now being held by Zach Flickinger in 33. Down to the inside goes car number 9, Herd 43 of Collard. They are side by side. And Shelton swinging it just a little bit. And whoa, her and Collard run each other off the track just a little bit. Here comes Matthews to the inside. Kyle Matthews now joining in on the fun and say, hey, this is fun. I want to join in here. You see the helicopter view right there, but meanwhile, Joshua Osborne has the white flag. He has 1 lap to go in heat number 1. Second is McIntyre. Third, battle for third, still going on between Collard, Shelton, and Matthews. And oh, Matthews sticking that nose there. He's pretty brave to do so in that 42 car. But Collard ain't giving up a spot. Whoa, he and Shelton rub doors again. If this would be a battle for the win, that would be a definite hump thing. A Collard gets off the track. Shelton takes third. Now he's in a battle with Matthews side by side. But meantime, that's the battle for the win is actually not a battle for the win. Joshua Osborne comes out of corner number 8, and he will win heat number 1 of the Suzuka Thunder 100. Second, we'll go to Levi McIntyre. Third place will be Jessica Shelton. Fourth will be Kyle Matthews. Fifth to Joshua Collard. Sixth will be Kev Shearer. Seventh was Seth Cole. Eighth, William Bedford. Ninth, Jeremy Jones. And the last transfer goes to Zach Flickinger, the number 33 car. He'll be the 10th and last transfer into the main event of the Suzuka Thunder 100. So for the other 11 drivers in this field, unfortunately, better luck next season in this race. So there is your transfers into the Suzuka Thunder 100. And I tell you what race that was there all the way, I will say that for sure. And oh, what in the world? Charles Sanford again gets into a pit road crash. What in the world? Poor Charles Sanford is about hitting nearly everything in their mother at this event. Let's look at this again. This time the car is smoking badly on the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet, and I'm trying to think what happened here. Everybody was all bottlenecked up there. Here he comes. He passes by Rogers and tries to make his way on the pit road, trying to squeeze his way through. At the end of the pit wall, and then he gets hit by Zach Rogers in the 3 car. Poor Charles Sammer. He goes from winning the championship at Atlanta Motor Speedway to this here at Suzuka. So with that all said, the top 10 finisher, so again, the top 10 transfers into the main event will be Joshua Osborne, Levi McIntyre, Jessica Shelton, Kyle Matthews, Joshua Collard, Kev Shearer, Seth Cole, William Bedford, Jeremy Jones, and Zach Flickinger. That's your 10 transfers into the main event. 11th place was Zach Austin, 12th was James Richardson, 13th was Levi Shones, William Brock, Zach Rogers, Trent Dunham, Johnny Gardner. Mason, he finished after being almost flipped over. JT Bryant. Charles Sammer was 19th. Mason was still in the lead lap. Matt Dalio. That Folgers car, apparently bad luck for him. He comes in 20th. And Dylan Poteet, who had a great starting spot, ends up last after a crash. So stay tuned. We'll be right back for heat number 2 of the Suzuka Thunder 100 in just a moment. Back at Suzuka Raceway in Suzuka, Japan for the running as we now head on to heat number 2 of the Suzuka Thunder 100. So we are set for another 10 laps to decide the second half of the main event field for the 20 lap race. And so here's the starting line for today's second heat of this event. On the pole for heat number 2, it's Andrew Perry, the number 5 Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevrolet, and beside him Dalton Day, number 20 Home Depot Pontiac. He'll be alongside on the front row. Row 2 has the Family Channel Prime Star Ford of Marty Johnson, and beside him the number 2 Miller Genuine Draft Ford of Dylan Young. He tested very well here at Suzuka, so he hopes to have it pay off here today for a top 10 run, hopefully for him. It's Corey Williams, who has the third row in the low Chevrolet car 31, and beside him Noah Cars, number 44 Hot Wheels Pontiac. He'll be alongside. Luis Hernandez has the inside of the next row down in the Michael Holligan Chevrolet car 25, and beside him will be the number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet of Dallas McIntosh. He's on the outside. Quentin Moore is the inside of the number 21 Sitco Ford, and beside him Ryan George, number 30 Pennzoil Pontiac. Then it's Jesse Turner and number 17 Western Auto Chevrolet in the next row down, and beside him the number 45 Sprint PCS Chevrolet of Zachary Fitzwater. He's alongside. Then it's Michael Turner, the Ford Quality Care Service Ford Credit Ford Taurus, and heads the inside of the next row down. And beside him, Stephanie Gardner and Cherio's Ford car number 26. Chris Dodd has the inside of the next row down, the Kodak Film Delco Battery Chevrolet, the car number 4. And beside him, John Arndt, number 19 Dodge Dealers Dodge. Then the next row down will be the number 19 GM Government Service Ford Chevrolet of Joseph Romero and Nicholas Romero, another Romero. I'm not sure if they're in relation or not, in the Hayes Meadows Ford, car number 15. Then it's Ryan Madden, the number 71 Prodigy Chevrolet, with starting inside of the last row, and the number 11 FedEx Ground Chevrolet. It is Cooper Cyron. He's alongside in car number 11.
Drivers, start those engines!
That's a way to get the race started here in heat number 2. So heat number 1 had 2 caution periods and 10 laps. So let's see what heat number 2 happens here at Suzuka. Boy, I almost hate to know what the main event's going to be like just about. Andrew Perry will lead them all down in car number 5, who was a sensation of the second half of the Castrol GTX Cup Series in season 15. Even though he only ran for 10 races, counting the race, counting his win at Rockingham. As he and Dalton Day will lead him down the 5 and the 20, Chevy versus Pontiac, the green flag race, where we are underway in heat number 2. As we're about to decide the second half of the top of the 20-car field for the Suzuka Thunder 100. Dalton Day and Andrew Perry side by side. Dylan Young trying to find an opening to try to get past one of those two. And boy, those two rubbing off one another here. Oh, and we got problems already, just like we did in heat number 1. Oh, and upside down goes Luis Hernandez. And Dallas McIntosh has crashed as well. Oh my goodness, what a bad one. And the first lap lead will go to Dalton Day in the number 20 car, as he'll lead the first lap. And Nicholas Romero somehow got caught up in the crash as well as caution number 1. Just like in the... that was a separate incident right there that happened as opposed to the 25 and the 8. Let's look at Hernandez and McIntosh first. They were 3 wide between Hernandez, Fitzwater, between Hernandez, Ryan George, and McIntosh. Ryan George slammed into McIntosh, and then, oh my goodness sakes. And Dallas McIntosh's car is flying like a monster truck. Oh my gosh. Bad crash that is. And that's no secret that both these drivers are out of the race. And now what happened was, and there's the second incident right there. That was Chris Dodd, Michael Turner, Jesse Turner, and Nicholas Romero that spun. They were in a 3-wide situation. And then Jesse Turner spins Michael Turner out, bulldozes him, I should say, as the 88 car gets back going. Little hood wrinkle on the Jesse Turner automobile. But let's go back to the race crash between Dallas McIntosh and Luis Hernandez. On board Dallas McIntosh's car. This fasten your seatbelts, everybody, on this one. That hurts. That almost hurts sitting here. Well, anyway, the pace car ducks off on the pit road as we're about to get set for a green flag here on lap number 4. The boy Andrew Perry wasted no time in the inside lane on Dalton Day as they go over into turn number 1. Dylan Young runs third. Fourth is Marty Johnson. Fifth is Corey Williams. Noah Cars, Ryan George, Zachary Fitzwater, Quentin Moore, and John Arndt is the top 10. Oh, and Noah Cars got sideways just a little bit. Oh my gosh, and we got 3 wide happening here. Quentin Moore gets out of that mess right there. So does Stephanie Gardner, who's now in battle with Noah Cars. And Stephanie makes her way into the top 10, knocking John Arndt out. But Arndt hopes to knock his way back into the top 10, along with the 29 of Joseph Romero, who runs in 12th. There they are. There's Arndt in the 19, Romero in the 29, Joseph Romero that is, who had that tremendous one down at South Boston Speedway in that great battle between he and Ryan George in those last couple laps. And that final lap was the only lap that Romero even led, but that was the one that counted. Fitzwater going high. Here comes John Arndt back to the inside of the 19 car, but it's not going to happen at the moment. Fitzwater leads him by about a car length coming across the start-finish line, but here, and he'll fall back in line behind Fitzwater. That's 10th and 11th happening. The final transfer spot battle happening, I should say, as well. And John Arndt's going to get it coming out of that turn. Boy, it's squeezed right in front of Fitzwater, too. But Andrew Perry right now does have the lead at the moment. Car number 5. There's we go back to the battle up front. And Dalton Day, who was leading, drops to 4th now as Marty Johnson takes 3rd. Dylan Young takes 2nd. And Perry goes to the number 1 spot. And boy, that guy has been, as I said, no wonder why he's being kept in this ride for season 16. He has just been absolutely phenomenal with that 5 car since taking that ride from Austin LaPlante. And again, as I said, no disrespect to Austin LaPlante, though, mind you, but sometimes a driver change makes all the difference. And just Austin just had a lot of bad luck with that 5 ride. As you see Andrew maneuvering through those turns. Dylan Young maintains that 2nd position. Marty Johnson, one of the best runs he's had on a road course ever, whether it points paying or not, though. So Marty having a stout run at 16 car. Marty, of course, started season 15 off with the win in the Daytona 500 and has been shut out of the winner's circle ever since. But if you're gonna win one race, it might as well just be Daytona. So the Family Channel Prime Star Ford having a solid run here today. Rear bumper cam, Dylan Young's car. Make his way down through the sweeping 8th and final turn of this course. He is falling back just a little bit from Andrew Perry. In fact, he gained 100th that time by, but that's not going to cut it. Interval is 79 hundredths of a second between he and the leader, Andrew Perry, at the moment. The number 5, Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevrolet. You got a Chevy in first, 2 Fords, 2nd and 3rd. Then you got a Pontiac in 4th and in 5th position too. Is Ryan George having a solid run here today? Corey Williams and battling with Noah Cars for 6th. And right now, Zachary Fitzwater holds that final transfer spot, and Quentin Moore got off the dirt just a little bit. Zachary Fitzwater holds that last transfer spot right now. The white flag, by the way, what does wave over Andrew Perry. Has 1 lap remaining in season in heat number 2. This race has gone much cleaner than the first heat did. But I tell you what a day, what a season this man is having already, and for a man who's raced a quarter of a season up to this point, Andrew Perry has done superb in this ride for sure. Here he comes rounding through corner number 8, the last turn of the course. Takes it just a little bit wide, but he is gonna do it. The second heat belongs to car number 5, Andrew Perry. Battle for third between Dalton Day and Marty Johnson. Ooh. Dalton Day got third in this race. Dylan Young got second. So there's no doubt who got first and second. But I'll tell you, if that battle for third would have been a battle for the win, I would have lost it. Oh my gosh, that was inches between Dalton Day and Marty Johnson. But Dalton Day got third, Marty Johnson got fourth, fifth was Ryan George, sixth Corey Williams. Noah Cars comes home 7th. He will transfer. Stephanie Gardner transfers. She'll finish 8th. Zachary Fitzwater comes home 9th. And the last transfer spot to Quentin Moore, the 21 Citgo Ford, is the 20th and final transfer into the Suzuka Thunder 100, as he takes the Morgan Shepherd cars into the last transfer spot. And boy, poor John Arndt, he had a top 10 starting position too, and just could not make his way back into the top 10. And so all that is said and done. The win of the Suzuka Thunder, the win of Heat 2 will go to Andrew Perry, as he'll take home the title, as he'll take home the second heat of the Suzuka Thunder 100. So the transfers again will be Andrew Perry, Dylan Young, Dalton Day, Marty Johnson, Ryan George, Corey Williams, Noah Carr, Stephanie Gardner, Zachary Fitzwater, and Quentin Moore will be your transfers into the All-Star, into the main event. And 11th place will go to John Arndt. A heartbreaking 11th place finish for him. No doubt he's a guy that's just has not had much luck for sure. Um, 12th spot will go to Joseph Romero. 13th will go to Michael Turner. Jesse Turner 14th. 15th Cooper Cyron. Then finishing 15th will be Cooper Cyron. Ryan Madden 16th. 17th would be Dallas McIntosh. Luis Hernandez 18th. 19th Chris Dodd. And Nicholas Romero 20th. The last 4 finishers all was involved in a crash. And he will finish the race in 20th. And they will finish the race 16th through 20th. So the entire field is set for the main event of the Suzuka Thunder 100, as Andrew Perry and Joshua Osborne has won their heat races. So we will be right back we'll be right back for the main event. 20 laps to distance here, and well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at Suzuka Raceway, and this is the main event. The Suzuka Thunder 100 main event is about to happen. The field is set to see who out of the 20 cars will make it to the winner's circle for the second annual Suzuka Thunder 100. Joshua Collard won this race last season, and we'll see who does it today. This season after 20 laps on this 1.39 mile course. And so let's get the starting lineup underway for the second annual Suzuka Thunder 100. On the pole, it is the number 2 Miller Genuine Draft Ford of Dylan Young. He's on the pole for this event. He'll be alongside the number 5 Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevrolet of Andrew Perry, the winner of heat number 2 earlier in this race. Row 2 has Jessica Shelton, the number 9 Dodge dealers Dodge, and she'll be alongside the winner of heat number 1, Joshua Osborne, in the number 10 Tide Ford. Seth Cole has the inside of the third row in the Geico Chevrolet car 13, and beside him, Dalton Day, the number 20 Home Depot Pontiac, is on the outside. Row 4 has a pair of Pontiacs, Kev Shearer, the number 32 Tide Pontiac, and Kyle Matthews, the number 42 Mellow Yellow Pontiac. He's on the outside. Row 5 has the defending event champion Joshua Collar in the STP Dodge car 43. Beside him, the Excite Batteries SKF Ford car number 99 of Rockin' Wrestling's Levi McIntyre on the outside. Row 6 has William Bedford, the number 00 Aquafresh Pontiac. Beside him, here Marty Johnson in the Family Channel Prime Star Ford car number 16. Row 7 has Jeremy Jones in the Interstate Batteries Chevrolet car number 18, and he'll be flanked by the number 21 Sitco Ford of Quentin Moore in the Morgan Shepherd colors. Then Stephanie Gardner, number 26 Cheerios Dodge, having the inside of the 8th row. Beside her, Ryan George in the Pennzoil Pontiac car number 30. Then it's the number 31 Lowe's Chevrolet inside of the 9th row. It's Corey Williams having who has that spot. Beside him, Zach Flickinger in the Skull Bandit Chevrolet car number 33. And the 10th and final row, riding shotgun, it is Noah Cars, the number 44 Hot Wheels Pontiac. And beside him, Zachary Fitzwater in the Sprint PCS Chevrolet car number 45. And he will have the 10th and last row of this event. So we're about to get this race all set to go here at Suzuka. And so, as we said, for all 41 cars showed up for this event. They all went through the 2 heat races. Andrew Perry, as I said, won the second heat race. He starts on the outside of the front row, and Joshua Osborne won the first heat race, and he'll start outside of the row number 2 of this event. So you got a Ford, Chevy front row of this event, and as I said again, the winner, each one in this field were the top 10 finishers of each of the 2 heat races. So the top 10 from the first heat and the top 10 from the second heat all transferred their way in. This track, as I said, only holds 26 cars. So if this track would have held all 41 cars, though, then we would have done all 41 instead of doing like what we did here. But it is what it is. Sometimes in our competition, but this may be an exhibition race here at Suzuka, the season-ending exhibition. But this is all pride at stake. This is racing for fun, as it always is in our competition, mind you. This is not all serious stuff. This is racing for fun. So, with that all said, let's get the command to fire the engines for the Suzuka Thunder 100 main event.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
The command has been given to fire the engines, and so the first 2 heat races were all to see who the 10 drivers will get into the main event. But this main event for this main event we are playing for keeps, as it seems to be here. Dylan Young out and Andrew Perry the front row for the Suzuka Thunder 100 main event. Off the 8th and final turn, the pace car ducks up on the pit road. 20 laps to decide it all. And the green flag waves and we are underway. Off in the turn number 1, Dylan Young gets off the track just a little bit. We saw a crash on the first lap in each of the first 2 heat races. Hate to know what we're going to see this time by. Oh, and Marty Johnson gets bulldozed by William Bedford. And we got another crash. Looks like Jeremy Jones is off in the grass. So is Zach Flickinger. And Quentin Moore's off in the grass as well. William Bedford's got a little damage here. Ryan George has a little bit of damage in the 30 car. So in each of the 3 races we did not get through lap 1 unscathed. Good grief. But Andrew Perry leads the first lap of this race here, and Jeremy Jones is one of the drivers that was in the crash. He was in the second crash, actually. But the first one involved William Bedford and Marty Johnson. Bedford goes up the track, hits Marty, sends him into the kitty litter. Hard into the wall goes Marty. That is a bad lick he took. And now let's see what happened with Jeremy Jones and Zach Flickinger. There's where the first crash happened, right there in this view. And watch Marty Johnson. He gets off the track just a little bit, and he'll come right up across the track and turn, and he'll hit Ryan George, and that sends them both around. Meanwhile, Flickinger got turned by Jeremy Jones and sends them both spinning. Ryan George appears to get away unscathed himself, so the pace car sights are off. We're about to get the green flag here on lap number 4. Marty Johnson, the only car out of the race in this second heat, or this main event, I should say. Excuse me, not this. But Andrew Perry is leader of the race. Second is Joshua Osborne. Third is Dylan Young. Fourth, Jessica Shelton. Fifth is Dalton Day. Sixth is Seth Cole. Seventh is Kyle Matthews. 8th position belonging to Kev Shearer. 9th, Levi McIntyre. And Joshua Collar, the defending event champion, runs in 10th place. As the green flag about to wave once again. And on lap number 4. Shelton wasting no time, going up underneath Dylan Young for position. But Dylan ain't giving up on that inside lane. Let's see what happens through the turn. Shelton gets a little wide. And, oh, and she turns Dylan Young, and they both spin! Zachary Fitzwater is spun in the 45 car. Oh, Dylan Young is not going to be happy with Shelton. But Andrew Perry leads the field back to start-finish line here, and sometimes that happens. That's a racing deal, though. You go over the same piece of real estate, and more often than not, something like this happens. Far chase view, Dylan Young goes up underneath Shelton. Shelton gets a little bit wide going through that part of the turn. And she drives it hard into this next turn and goes into Dylan Young. And then, actually, Shelton also got tapped by Dalton Day in the 20 car and sent her around. Seth Cole got turned, and then this is where Zachary Fitzwater got turned, and he spun. Jeremy Jones gets into him, as well as Quentin Moore and William Bedford. So again, 2 separate incidents happening on the restart here at Suzuka. On board, Jessica Shelton. And you heard Shelton trying to get their car to start, and it does not, so... And both her and Dylan Young, unfortunately for them, out of this race. And that's unfortunate for Shelton because that's one of the road course, usually they're one of the road course favorites, along with Dylan Young. Favorites among the fans, so I should say. So resetting this field for you. Andrew Perry leads the race. Joshua Osborne second. Dalton Day running third. Fourth is Kyle Matthews. Fifth is Levi McIntyre. Sixth, Joshua Collard. Seventh was Stephanie Gardner. Kev Sheeran eighth. Ryan George ninth. And 10th is Seth Cole, who also spun that to cause that yellow flag. The green flag was back underway on lap number 7. Perry gets off the track a little bit. Here comes Osborne to the inside. The two heat race winners are going at it here. Andrew won the second heat, and Osborne won the first heat. Ford versus Chevrolet. Side by side, Matthews trying to push Osborne. A couple of nearby drivers here. One from Kentucky and the other from Ohio. And Osborne comes away with the lead. Matthews now going to second position. Here comes Matthews for the lead. Osborne takes a little bit wide. Matthews ties inside of the racetrack. And somebody hits the wall, looks like in the turn. And Kev Shear looks like he spun in the 32 car. And Kyle Matthews led him back to the start-finish line. That's the third caution in heat number 2 in the main event. Maybe I should have made this 10 lap heat. I don't know. And let's take a look as to what happened here. Kev Shear and Seth Cole looks like they might have been the ones that got into it. They were 3 wide with Ryan George, and this is about for the 7th spot. George, I think, turned Seth. And then Kev had nowhere to go but right into Ryan George, and he just delivers the crushing blow to Seth Cole's chances of this event. And maybe as well to his own chances of winning this event as well. They were running 7th, 8th, and 9th when this all happened. But Shearer is still in this race, in 16th position. We have not completed a green flag lap yet, as I said before. Sometimes doing this event is kind of tiring in some ways. But anyway, Kyle Matthews is the leader of the event. Second position is Joshua Osborne. Third is Andrew Perry, who led the opening laps of this event. Dalton Day running in fourth. Fifth is now Joshua Collard. I tell you, Collard maybe in good position to get a second straight win at Suzuka if this keeps up, as long as Collard himself's not in one of those crashes himself. Levi McIntyre runs in 6th position. 7th is Stephanie Gardner. 8th is Noah Cars. 9th is Corey Williams. And 10th position is now Zach Flickinger. There's the field rounding through turn number 7. There's turn number 8. And Kyle Matthews will lead him down to take the green flag here as we're on lap number 10. We're about almost halfway home. This man, let's see if we can try to get any of them green flag. Matthews gets the early jump on Osborne. There's the battle going on between Dalton Day and Joshua Collard. It's a battle for 4th. And Levi McIntyre trying to see who he wants to go with. Collard, the only driver from outside of the U.S. and from England. And whoa! Dalton Day got a little squirrely there, and he and Collard bump and rub. And boy, what racing. Dalton gets off in the grass here, gets off in the kitty litter, and loses a few spots. And now Collard is under fire from Levi McIntyre. Here comes McIntyre to the inside the 99 car. And he'll pull ahead of Collard to take 4th. Ford, Levi McIntyre's car. He sees the front three ahead of him there with Matthews, Osborne, and Perry. He's closing in just a little bit, playing with that throttle through some of those turns. He keeps it in second gear all this time. McIntyre will still be with this ride next season with the Cut 90 mod with the 1996 paint scheme. Takes it through to a very slow and sweeping turn number 8. Perry goes to the inside of Osborne here with McIntyre as we watch this battle. All this may be helping Kyle Matthews a bit there in that 42 car. Perry to second. But Osborne ain't giving up in that 10. He now has the inside lane or outside lane. It depends on the course on which side of the track you're on. Woo! He and Perry close. Oh, don't do it! Gee whiz. And Osborne takes a little bit wide, and Andrew Perry will take the second position away. And now Perry has his sights set on Kyle Matthews for the number 1 spot. Matthews, though, however, pulling away a little bit. With that little bit of battling, they went through, and Matthews saying, good job, guys, I'm just going to pull away from you. And boy, he did, almost a half a second. Collard and McIntyre, they're at it again. 43 and 99. Ford versus Dodge. And whoa, McIntyre got a little squirrely there through that turn. On board with McIntyre another time. Trying to catch Joshua Collard, trying to get him back. Takes it to that 8th corner of this racetrack, and Collard takes a little bit wide. McIntyre dips low on the track. Ooh. Now it's a drag race to see who gets to the start-finish line. Collard by that much for 4th. What racing we are seeing here at Suzuka, without question, though, for the lead for any position we have here, excluding all the wrecks we've had so far, but other than that, it's been a great event here we've had. Dalton Day runs in 6th position, a solid run for him. 7th position belonging to Stephanie Gardner. Corey Williams takes 8th now. Noah Carr's in 9th, and Zach Flickinger running in 10th. William Bedford and Ryan George running just a little bit behind. 6 laps to go here at Suzuka. Kyle Matthews, the 42 Mello Yellow Pontiac, a 4-time winner during the regular season, during the season 15, came 10 points shy of the championship to Charles Sanford, who you remember crashed out in the first heat of this race. I would call this kind of an ironic note if Matthews should go on to win this race. So you remember last season Matthews ended up in a kitty litter in the main event and ruined his chances for a good finish. That was in the main event, though Matthews did make the main event, but spun out in the kitty litter last season. But right now he is possibly 5 laps away from victory here at Suzuka. That is provided if Andrew Perry does not have enough to close it, which it looks like he might have just a little bit. Osborne remains third. McIntyre now finally is able to shake off Collard for 4th. And now Collard's under fire from Dalton Day for the number 5 position now as Dade runs in 6th position, now trying to get underneath the 43 STP Dodge. Battle for 10th between William Bedford and Noah Carrs. Going at it for position there, a pair of Pontiacs. So she would make that a Pontiac trio there with Ryan George in the number 30 car. That's 10th, 11th, and 12th. And look at the damage on the 30 car of Ryan George there. All the battle scars it's showing here. But it runs like a Timex. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Jeremy Jones runs in the 13th position. Quentin Moore, damage and all, runs in 14th. Zachary Fitzwater 15th, and Kev Shearer has got to be one disappointed driver after having run in the top 10 for much of this race. He runs in the 16th position. But taking it very, very steady here. But taking it steady is Kyle Matthews, that 42 car. He is running very, very strong here, so we are now right on board with Kyle Matthews. See how he drives the Suzuka truck as he comes over 2 laps to go, and he, in the main event, takes it down through turn number 8 in about 60, maybe 61 miles an hour. Mashes that throttle, 3rd gear. 4th gear he goes. And about 176 miles an hour into turn number 1. There's turn 2. Puts her in 2nd gear. He's mainly in 2nd gear through all these turns basically. Andrew Perry has not been able to close in just a little bit in that 5 car though. You remember those two dueled it out at Phoenix for the win, and Matthews passed Perry late in the going and won the race. But he's had to pass Perry late in the going again here at Suzuka, as he'll come down for the white flag. 1 lap remaining in the Suzuka Thunder 100 for Kyle Matthews, the number 42 Meliella Pontiac. Sees the white flag. He won the road course earlier this season at Watkins Glen. And he may be on his way to doing so again on the road course here in Suzuka. Here in the Suzuka, Japan. The 2nd time the Castrol GTX Cup Series has visited Japan as Suzuka. Actually, the 3rd time really, because we visited Twin Ring Motegi in season 11, I think. Season 10 or 11. And he'll round through corner number 8 one more time. The number 42 Meliella Pontiac, the 2nd trip to Suzuka, Japan for the Suzuka Thunder 100, goes to car number 42. Kyle Matthews wins the 2nd annual Suzuka Thunder 100 for season 15. Andrew Perry comes home 2nd. 3rd position will be Joshua Osborne. 4th to Levi McIntyre. Dalton Day got around Joshua Collard for 5th. Collard will come home 6th. Stephanie Gardner 7th. 8th will be Corey Williams. 9th will be Zach Flickinger. And Noah Cars comes home in 10th position. Average speed in this race, 88.122 miles per hour. And yeah, there's the end of the pit wall. See who all hits it this time by. Just basically, yeah, let's see. Yeah, William Bedford slams into the pit wall there. Ryan George goes into Bedford. And Levi McIntyre gives Bedford a bit of a hit. And Kev Shearer misses the pit wall himself too. But a big win for Kyle Matthews as he takes home the 2nd running of the Suzuka Thunder 100 in Suzuka, Japan. 11th spot will go to William Bedford. 12th place will go to Ryan George. Jeremy Jones 13th. Quentin Moore 14th. Zachary Fitzwater 15th. Kev Shearer, disappointing for him, 16th. Seth Cole was out of the race. So is Dylan Young, Jessica Shelton, and Marty Johnson out of the race. And something tells me Shelton's going to rip me on this track somewhat. But so 3 of the previous favorites were out of the race. So basically 17th, 18th, and 19th. Marty Johnson had a strong run in heat number 2 of this race. Ends up last this time by. But Kyle Matthews, here once he took the lead, it was smooth sailing for the number 42 Meliella Pontiac as he goes to victory lane in the Castrol GTX Cup Series' 3rd visit to Japan. And we are looking forward to doing this again at the end of season 16 for sure. And a great season 15 it has been for sure. Charles Semper, of course, may have been the champion of the Castrol GTX Cup Series, though. But this race, of course, as I said, was all for shiznit and giggles, basically. And let's just say, to clean it up, all pride at stake. It's about what it basically is. Just a fun race, you know. It's just a darn shame it happened only for a couple of years in real life NASCAR. To be honest with you, I'd actually like that event. But as it is, though, Kyle Matthews wins today in this race here in the Suzuka Thunder 100, the second annual running of this event. We look forward to doing it again in season 16, starting with, of course, Speed Weeks at Daytona for the Daytona 500 with a Cup 90 mod. So congratulations again to our race winners and to our season champion, Charles Sanford, as I said. And so, until season 16 starts, this is James Qualls. This has been a production of the NNSCRA, celebrating 5 years of offline racing at its best.